Hello students, today we are starting a new chapter, Principles of Inheritance and Variation. Have you ever wondered why a mango seed always forms a mango plant, not any other plant? Or why human beings always produce another human being, not any other animal? Are the offsprings identical to the parents? Or do they show any differences? We receive the characteristics from our parents. The process by which characters are transferred from one generation to the next is called inheritance or heredity. The differences of traits of individuals of a progeny from each other and from their parents are called variations. The branch of science which deals with inheritance and variation is called genetics. From prehistoric time, our ancestors knew that one of the causes of variation was hidden in sexual reproduction. They exploited the variations that were present naturally in the wild populations of plants and animals to selectively breed and select for organisms that possessed desirable characters. For example, Sahiwal cows in Punjab were produced through artificial selection and domestication from ancestral wild cows. However, they had very little idea about the scientific basis of these phenomena. Gregor Johann Mendel is known as the father of genetics. He was an Austrian priest. He was a scientist and mathematician too. He conducted hybridization experiments on garden peas for 7 years and proposed the laws of inheritance in living organisms. During Mendel's investigation into inheritance patterns, it was for the first time that statistical analysis and mathematical logic were applied to problems in biology. His experiments had a large sampling size, which gave greater credibility to the data that he collected. Also, the confirmation of his inferences from experiments on successive generations of his test plants proved that his results pointed to general rules of inheritance rather than being unsubstantiated ideas. Mendel investigated characters in the garden pea plant that were manifested as two opposing traits, for example, tall or dwarf plants, yellow or green seeds. This allowed him to set up a basic framework of rules governing inheritance, which was expanded on by later scientists to account for all the diverse natural observations and the complexity inherent in them. Mendel conducted such artificial or cross-pollination experiments using several true breeding pea lines. A true breeding line is one that have undergone continuous self-pollination and shows the stable trait inheritance and expression for several generations. He selected 14 true breeding pea plant varieties as pairs which were similar except for one character with contrasting traits. Here are the characteristics based on which he had conducted his experiments. The contrasting traits are tall and dwarf plants, violet and white color of flower, axial and terminal flower, inflated and constricted pod, green and yellow pod color, round and wrinkled seed, yellow and green color of the seed. Mendel selected pea plant as his experimental material because of the following reasons. Life cycle of pea plant is only for few months. Flowers are bisexual and normally self-pollinated, so it is easy to get pure line for several generations. Flowers can be cross-pollinated only manually. Pea plants produce large number of seeds in one generation. They could be easily raised, maintained and handled. A number of easily detectable contrasting characters or traits were available for pea plant. Let's see how Mendel studied inheritance of one gene. He crossed tall and dwarf pea plants. He collected the seeds produced as a result of this cross and grew them to generate plants of the first hybrid generation. This generation is also called the filial one progeny or the F1. Mendel observed that all the F1 progeny plants were tall, like one of its parents, none were dwarf. He made similar observations for the other pairs of traits. He found out that the F1 always resembled either one of the parents and that the trait of the other parent was not seen in them. Mendel then self-pollinated the tall F1 plants and to his surprise found that in the F2 generation some of the offsprings were dwarf. The character that was not seen in the F1 progeny was now expressed. The proportion of plants that were dwarf were 1/4 of the F2 plants, while 3/4 of the F2 plants were tall. The tall and dwarf traits were identical to their parental type and did not show any blending. That is, all the offspring were either tall or dwarf. None were of in-between height. Based on these observations, Mendel proposed that something was being stably passed on unchanged from parent to offspring through the gametes over successive generations. He called these things as factors. Nowadays, we call them as genes. Genes, therefore, are units of inheritance. They contain the information that is required to express a particular trait in an organism. Genes which code for a pair of contrasting traits are known as alleles. That is, they are slightly different forms of the same gene. If we use alphabetical symbols for each gene, then the capital letter is used for the trait that is expressed in the F1 generation and the small alphabet for the other trait. For example, in the case of the character of height, capital T is used for the tall trait and small t is used for the dwarf, and capital T and small t are the alleles of each other. Hence, in plants, the pair of alleles for height would be capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, or small t, small t. Mendel also proposed that in a true breeding tall or dwarf pea variety, the allelic pairs of genes for height are identical or homozygous, capital T and small t respectively. Capital T and small t are called the genotype of the plant, while the descriptive terms tall and dwarf are the phenotype. The phenotype of a plant that had a genotype capital T small t would be tall. As Mendel found the phenotype of the F1 heterozygote capital T small t to be exactly like the capital T parent in appearance, he proposed that in a pair of dissimilar factors, one dominates the other and hence is called dominant factor, while the other factor is recessive. In this case, capital T is dominant over small t. He observed identical behavior for all the other characters or trait pairs he studied. Alleles can be similar as in the case of homozygotes T and small t, or can be dissimilar as in the case of heterozygote capital T small t. Since the capital T small t plant is heterozygous for genes controlling one character, it is a monohybrid, and the cross between capital T and small t is a monohybrid cross. As the recessive parental trait is expressed without any blending in the F2 generation, we can infer that when the tall and dwarf plants produce gametes by the process of meiosis, the alleles of the parental pair separate or segregate from each other and only one allele is transmitted to a gamete. It's a random process, so there is a 50% chance of a gamete containing either allele. During fertilization, the two alleles capital T and small t are united to produce zygotes that have one capital T allele and one small t allele. In other words, the hybrids have capital T and small t. Since these hybrids contain alleles which express contrasting traits, the plants are heterozygous. The production of gametes by parents, the formation of zygote, and the F1 and F2 plants can be understood from a diagram called Punnett square, which was developed by a British geneticist, Reginald C. Punnett. It's a graphical representation to calculate the probability of all possible genotypes of offspring in a genetic cross. The possible gametes are written on two sides, usually the top row and the left columns. All possible combinations are represented in boxes below in the squares, which generates a square output form. In the slide, you can find a typical monohybrid cross conducted by Gregor Mendel between true breeding tall plant and true breeding dwarf plant. It is represented using a Punnett square. Tall plant produces gametes with capital T, while dwarf plants produce gametes with small t. The seeds were collected from this cross and allowed to raise F1 generation. Mendel found out that all plants were tall. He self-pollinated F1 plants. F1 plants produce two types of gametes, one with capital T and the other one with small t. After fertilization, seeds were collected and raised F2 generation. To his surprise, 1/4 of the plants were dwarf, the remaining 3/4 were tall. So the phenotypic ratio tall is to dwarf is 3:1. There are two types of tall plants in F2 generation. One with capital T, which is homozygous. The other one with capital T, small t, which is heterozygous. So the genotypic ratio capital T is to capital T, small t is to small t is 1:2:1. Based on his observations on monohybrid crosses, Mendel proposed two general rules to consolidate his understanding of inheritance in monohybrid crosses. Today, these rules are called the principles or laws of inheritance. The first law or law of dominance and the second law or law of segregation. Law of dominance. Characters are controlled by discrete units called factors. Factors occur in pairs. In a dissimilar pair of factors, one member of the pair dominates the other. The law of dominance is used to explain the expression of only one of the parental characters in a monohybrid cross in the F1 and the expression of both in the F2. It also explains the proportion of 3:1 obtained at F2 generation. Let's look into Mendel's second law or law of segregation. This law is based on the fact that the alleles do not show any blending and that both the characters are recovered as such in the F2 generation, though one of these is not seen at the F1 stage. Though the parents contain two alleles during gamete formation, the factors or alleles of a pair segregate from each other such that a gamete receives only one of the two factors. Of course, a homozygous parent produces all gametes that are similar, while a heterozygous parent produces two kinds of gametes, each having one allele with equal proportion. To determine the genotype of a tall plant at F2, Mendel crossed the tall plant from F2 with a dwarf plant. He called it as a test cross. In a typical test cross, an organism showing a dominant phenotype is crossed with a recessive parent. The progenies of such a cross can easily be analyzed to predict the genotype of the test organism. Here is a typical test cross where violet color flower is dominant over the white color flower. If all the progenies are violet in color, then the plant is homozygous dominant. If the progenies are in 1:1 ratio, then the plant is heterozygous. In this session, you have learned about Mendel's two laws of inheritance. You also have learned about the test cross. With this, we come to the end of today's session. Thank you and have a nice time.